You heard her story last week in a Target 8 investigation about the man who raped her when she was 13 years old in her own home. He then hid in prison, refusing to give up a DNA sample that would eventually nail him.
Today, that victim told her story again, this time before state senators. Target 8's Ken Kolker is in studio now with her story. Ken?
Yeah, the woman, now 26, gave those details to the Senate Judiciary Committee, which is considering a law to make sure this doesn't happen again.
I don't believe anyone else should suffer this trauma when the ability to help them is readily available.
The dispute is over a 2001 law requiring all state prisoners to provide a DNA sample before they're released. Target 8 told you last week how this was pitting cold case detectives, upset that 6,000 inmates had refused to provide those samples, against prison officials who say taking it by force would violate prisoner rights.
Right now, the only way DNA is able to be taken without fear of reprisal from prisoner right groups and that sort of thing is to wait until they're almost ready to be released. And on some prisoners, then, we will never get DNA samples because they're in prison for life.
The woman attacked in her home as a teenager in 1998 was invited to testify today and asked reporters not to use her name.
The attack left me paralyzed with fear at night, double and triple checking the locks, jumping at the slightest noise, and wondering if the assailant or someone like him was out there.
Her attacker, Mark Ball, later arrested on another crime, refused to give up his DNA for 7 years, until just before he was released on parole. He's now in prison for up to 100 years.
If Mark Ball would have been forced to give his DNA during any of his many convictions, I would have avoided questioning looks from my peers in school, adults I knew, and the police. I would have been able to sleep at night without fear of him coming back.
The new legislation proposed by Senator Tanya Shootmaker would clarify the law requiring all incoming inmates to provide DNA samples within 90 days and existing inmates to give it up by December 1st.
Her testimony put a human face to it. The fact of the matter is that, her life was turned upside down for 10 years and could have been solved almost immediately had this been in place.
It feels good to get, my story out there and just to share what we had to go through, and hopefully that'll make a difference.
The bill now moves on to the full Senate. Senator Shootmaker says she hopes to get it to the governor's desk before the end of this month.
Ken, thank you.